What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 8, Thursday Night Football.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay, in this video, I'm going to give you my top picks for the Thursday Night Football Showdown between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NFL Week 8, let's take a look at this Thursday Night Football Showdown between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. So at the quarterback position, I like Teddy Bridgewater from the Carolina Panthers playing the Atlanta Falcons, who have the absolute worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater has averaged 18.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 3.6 rush attempts per game. He scored 19, 11, and 24 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's projected at 19.8 fantasy points here tonight, and he's 10,600 DraftKings salary. Vegas thinks there's going to be 52 points scored in this game, with the Carolina Panthers favored by 2. So the matchup couldn't get any better for Teddy Bridgewater. I like his rushing floor. He got 2, 8, and 3 rush attempts in the last 3 games. So if he can score a touchdown on the ground, 300 yards and a couple of pass touchdowns, he's got some pretty big upside. This is going to be a close, competitive game, and Matt Ryan's been playing well lately. I don't mind playing Matt Ryan either, but I like the lineups that I'm building with Teddy Bridgewater. So I like Teddy Bridgewater here versus the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. I like Todd Gurley from the Atlanta Falcons playing the Carolina Panthers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Todd Gurley has averaged 16.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 17.4 rush attempts per game and 2.9 pass targets per game. He got 23, 20, and 14 rush attempts in the last 3 games. They also got 3, 4, and 5 pass targets in those games, scoring 22, 10, and 28 fantasy points. So he's getting a ton of volume. He's been a productive running back for the Atlanta Falcons. He's projected at 16.1 fantasy points here tonight, and he's 8,400 DraftKings salary. So Todd Gurley's just getting way more volume than Mike Davis, and he's got a better matchup here tonight. So I like Todd Gurley here versus the Carolina Panthers. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL, MLB is still going, NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, who do we have at the wide receiver position? So Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones are the most expensive wide receivers on the slate. If I were to pick between the two, I think I'd go for Julio Jones, considering he's 400 less on DraftKings. He's had a nice couple of back-to-back games, getting 9 and 10 pass targets the past 2 games. So more pass targets the last couple of games than Calvin Ridley. He doesn't have the best matchup here tonight, so that's why I'm going to go with the wide receivers from the Carolina Panthers, and that's the main reason that I want to play Teddy Bridgewater in my lineup, because I like DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers playing the Atlanta Falcons, who have the worst defense overall, and they give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. DJ Moore has averaged 15.5 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 7.6 pass targets per game. He scored 25, 14, and 19 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 5, 11, and 5 pass targets. He's projected at 15.6 fantasy points here tonight, and he's $8,200 DraftKings salary. He's on the field for 85% of the snaps, which is the most out of all the Carolina wide receivers. Fantastic matchup here, so I like DJ Moore here versus the Atlanta Falcons. And then if you're looking to save some salary at the wide receiver position, take a look at Curtis Samuel from the Carolina Panthers playing the Atlanta Falcons, who have the worst defense overall, and they give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Curtis Samuel has averaged 10.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 4.8 pass targets per game. He scored 17 fantasy points last game off of 6 pass targets. He's projected at 9.7 fantasy points here tonight, and he's only $5,400 DraftKings salary and $1,400 more on FanDuel. So I want to stack a couple of wide receivers with Teddy Bridgewater and take advantage of that weak Atlanta secondary. So I like Curtis Samuel here versus the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget about Russell Gage if you're looking to save some money at the wide receiver position. He's only $4,200 DraftKings salary, and he got 7 pass targets last game. So I think he makes a pretty nice value play here at the wide receiver position. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. I like Hayden Hurst from the Atlanta Falcons playing the Carolina Panthers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and although they've been pretty good versus opposing tight ends, Hayden Hurst has averaged 10.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5.6 pass targets per game. He got 7 pass targets last game, scored 13 fantasy points. He's projected at 9.6 fantasy points here tonight, and he's $6,400 DraftKings salary and $1,700 more on FanDuel. So I like Hayden Hurst here versus the Carolina Panthers. Now the Carolina Panthers, they got a great matchup here at the tight end position. The Atlanta Falcons give up the most fantasy points to opposing tight ends, but they're just not getting enough pass volume for me to feel comfortable playing these guys. Ian Thomas has only got 1 pass target in each of the last 3 games, but he is only $2,600 DraftKings salary. So considering the fantastic matchup that he has here tonight, it may be worth going there as a high risk, high reward play.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.